Now, atheism is a practice of thinking, but not thinking in light of science and reason or methodology. Is actually based purely on imagination. They think there's no God, then they set to practice into the thought experiment of producing excuses for why there can't be a God, rather than going straight to applicable sciences and testing for God. Now Jesus says, if we seek him, we shall find him.
Okay, so clearly this guy doesn't know what the bleep a real scientific test involves. But seeking and you will find, which is something that he cherry-picked out of the Bible that he has yet to show that's true, so it's a circular argument as well as being cherry-picked, is not scientific or logical. Here's the problem. I can pray to any deity at all, and no prayer will be answered unless it is something that could happen by nature or by some human action. So, let's just say that we get every different religion together somehow. We have at least one, if not more, representatives from that religion, and we get them together. And let's go to the zoo. We all go to the zoo, and I say, okay, everyone, I brought you here to pray that this elephant will levitate in the air. Please proceed to do this. What will be the result of that experiment? Now, don't offer me any excuses, because you said, oh, you don't like excuses. Just give me the answer. Just give me the answer. Nothing will happen, right? That's the answer. You know it. I know it. We all know it. We know that the elephant will not lift off the ground. It won't happen. Don't care how hard those people believe or how long or hard they pray. It's not going to happen. No matter what. The only way that we can get that elephant off the ground is through some sort of mechanical instrument, some sort of pulley system. If you want to see it lift off the ground and hide the pulleys like some illusion trick like a magician would do, we can do that, sure. But I'm just talking, we got in a group of different religions and we didn't let them know what we were going to do. We just brought them in and told them, pray, have this elephant lift off the ground. It won't lift. It won't happen. It will not happen. And you know what? Everyone would excuse it away. And I bet some would walk away and then turn around and claim that they saw the elephant come off the ground. Even though we would have, you know, lots of people recording it and taking pictures and be like, look, it didn't lift off the ground at all. Those people would walk away and claim that it did. And they would tell people, oh yeah, we saw the elephant lift off the ground. When in fact it hadn't lifted off the ground. Because people want to believe, and they want to believe so hard that they'll do anything to continue to believe. If there was empirical evidence or a test for God, it would already be written up in a scientific paper or 2 or 3 or perhaps 10 or 20. It would already be something established by the scientific community, and yet, oddly enough, it isn't. In fact, we haven't needed to appeal to God yet in science to explain anything. Now, this is making people pretty desperate. It's making people pretty scared because they want to show the world that this thing is true, but yet they have no way to show the world that this thing is true. So they do things like this where they go, oh, you just have a belief. What, like you do? Look, if you had a test that was an actual test, then we could verify it. But this isn't a real test. Just pray like it says in the Bible, and then you'll see that it's true. No, you won't. I could say that prayer all day long, and nothing's going to change. Nothing will happen at all. That couldn't happen just because of nature itself or because of human involvement. I'll do this. Tell you what. I know a couple of things that are possible, but very, very hard to explain away. So let's just say that I pray to Walla Walla Bing Bang for $10,000 to arrive as a cashier's check in the mail addressed to my full name. And it will have a stamp on it, but no return address. So I'll see that it has no return address. I'll have a stamp. It'll have been sent through the mail. It'll have my full name, my address. I'll open it up, cashier's check for $10,000. That's more money than anybody I know actually has. And if somebody out there somehow found out my real info, I doubt that they just have $10,000 to throw away to try to make me believe in Walla Walla Bing Bang, but maybe somebody does. But it'd be hard to explain away. So let me go ahead and pray to Walla Walla Bing Bang. Okay, I just prayed to Walla Walla Bing Bang. In fact, the way I prayed to Walla Walla Bing Bang is just by saying I'm praying to Walla Walla Bing Bang for $10,000, blah, blah, blah. This whole video is my prayer to Walla Walla Bing Bang, okay? Now, you and I both, I think, expect for me not to get a cashier's check tomorrow. I don't expect there to be money. You don't expect there to be money because Walla Walla Bing Bang doesn't really exist. And we know that. What about Yahweh? Or Jesus, for that matter. And let's have that same experiment on Yahweh or Jesus. We would get the same result. We will not get a cashier's check in the mail. I won't get it. It won't happen. So you can pray for that all you want. It won't happen. It won't happen tomorrow. It won't happen 10 days from now. It just will not happen. And I'm not being greedy. It's only $10,000. That's chump change for some of these mega churches. And heck, even a small church can afford it, really. So, there's some really tiny churches that probably couldn't afford it. But God could talk to one of the pastors or ministers or whatever. Like, hey, send this guy $10,000. I want to shut him up. And it would. I'd be coming on YouTube, oh my word, I just received $10,000 from God, blah, blah. Of course, none of you would believe it, but it would convince me. Now, let me offer a different idea. Okay, how about this? Tomorrow, they discover a way to eliminate diabetes as an issue. Every single type of diabetes. Tomorrow. And it can be discovered by science, okay? It can be discovered by any number of scientists you want. I don't care. But it has to be tomorrow, and it has to be every single version of diabetes, period. It can't be like we discovered all but one. It has to be them all. You know what? Doesn't matter how hard you pray to Yahweh or Jesus or Walla Walla Bing Bang. Not going to happen. It will eventually maybe happen because of science working on it. Feverishly working on it. Eventually we will come up with that, hopefully. It's not going to happen tomorrow, though. It just won't happen. And I can make that prediction in assurance that it won't happen. I base that on how science functions. I base that on how things work. And it would take a miracle to modify that. Now, some skeptics are more skeptical than I am in this regard. They would say, well, even if tomorrow science came up with a way to fix all of diabetes, you really shouldn't believe in God just because of that. Yeah, okay, yeah, I get that. As a skeptic, I agree. But just for today, I'm going to say, you know what? If it happens tomorrow, after this guy sees this video, yeah, sure, yeah, I'll go for it. Why not? Whatever. I'll join your little cult religion, whatever. I mean, well, but see, it wouldn't tell me anything else. I would just know that there was a God. See, so maybe God could tell me some more info in that letter with the 10,000, or if it's not going to be the 10,000, maybe when they discover the cure for every single diabetes, like they could also be like, and thanks be to whatever blank God, like one of them could say that. I don't know. But what if one of them says, thanks be to Allah? I guess then I have to believe that Allah is real now? I don't know. But I'm just saying, look. I'm trying to come up with something unselfish that would convince me at least, that there was a God that had sufficient power to manipulate the world. But you know what? At the end of the day, I expect it to not happen. I expect things to happen the way that nature will allow them to happen. Nothing will change unless humans change it or unless nature changes it or some animal or something. Okay? Deities do nothing. If they exist at all, they don't do anything for us. It is humans that save other humans from fires and collapsed buildings and earthquakes and tsunamis and etc., etc. It's humans that save other humans' lives. Deities, if they really existed, we wouldn't have to do much of anything ever. I imagine it like a world with a genie, but a genie that actually granted wishes. That would be an amazing, wonderful world to be in. We would get rather lazy, but it wouldn't matter because we would rely on this genie to continue to fulfill whatever need we had. Now, maybe the genie says, you know what, I'll fulfill 3 wishes a day, but I need you to go work. I need you to do this, that, and the other thing, because whatever, fill in the blank, whatever reason. Okay, so you go and you do that, and then you get your 3 wishes, right? In this case, the genie is Jesus, right? And there are no 3 wishes. The only wish is that you might get into heaven, which you can't be assured of even if you are a Christian, because there will be those who say, Lord, Lord, in the end days, and still be told, I didn't know you, go away. So there's no guarantee at all. Even in your own system, there's no guarantee. That's your only hope, your only wish that might never come true. In fact, you'll be dead, so you can't report on it. Oh, but there have been people that came back from the dead. No, there haven't been. Nobody has actually come back from actual death. Because you know what? When you're dead, that's it. You're dead. You're gone. And, you know, there's just no way to test for any deity. Every single test that we could possibly conceive has always resulted in what we'd expect from chance or nature itself. Conclusion. So I'll tell you what, you come up with a real scientific test, and I'll experiment and I'll perform that test. But you haven't done that here. And you also haven't come up with a logically coherent argument, and unless and until you do, we should all continue to be skeptical of your conclusions.